The Toyota Supra, a name that instantly brings to mind the smell of burnt rubber, the sound of a turbo spooling, and the unforgettable image of a bright orange car racing through the streets in The Fast and the Furious. But behind the pop culture fame lies a deeper story, one of evolution, innovation, and controversy. From a 1970s GT coupe to a 1990s twin-turbo monster, and finally to a high-tech sports car born from international collaboration, the Supra's journey is one of the most fascinating in automotive history. Today, we're diving into Then versus Now, the Toyota Supra story. We'll see how this legendary machine transformed through the decades, and we'll ask one question along the way. Can modern engineering ever match the raw soul of the old Supra? The origins, the 1970s, where it all began. The story begins in 1978. Toyota wanted to challenge Nissan's Z cars, specifically the Datsun 280Z, which had taken the world by storm with its mix of performance and affordability. So, Toyota created a new car based on the Celica and called it the Celica Supra. It was longer, wider, and equipped with a 6-cylinder engine instead of the Celica's 4. Its inline-6 engine produced around 110 horsepower, not earth-shattering, but smooth and refined for its time. Toyota's focus wasn't just power, it was sophistication. The Supra came with electronic fuel injection and features like cruise control and air conditioning, luxuries back then. This was the start of the Supra DNA, a balance between comfort, precision, and potential. The 1980s, finding its identity. By the early 1980s, the Supra was ready to step out of the Celica's shadow. In 1982, Toyota launched the second-generation Supra, A60, finally separating it as its own model. The design became sharp and futuristic, pop-up headlights, aggressive lines, and a digital dashboard that looked straight out of Tron. The A60 Supra wasn't just about looks. It featured independent rear suspension and a 2.8-liter inline-6, producing up to 160 horsepower, respectable for its time. By the mid-80s, the Supra had begun to earn a reputation, not just as a stylish GT, but as a legitimate performance car. The 1990s, the golden era, the Mark IV legend, Toyota introduced the Mark IV Supra A80, a car that would go on to become one of the most celebrated sports cars of all time. The A80 wasn't just an upgrade, it was a revolution. It was lighter, more aerodynamic, and far more powerful. Under the hood sat the now mythical 2JZ GTE, a 3.0-liter twin-turbo inline-6 engine producing 276 horsepower in Japan and up to 320 horsepower in US spec. But those numbers don't tell the whole story. The 2JZ was over-engineered. Its iron block could handle absurd amounts of power. With a few bolt-on upgrades, tuners easily pushed it to 600, 800, even 1,000 horsepower. That engine turned the Supra into a tuning legend, a blank canvas for speed enthusiasts. The car's aerodynamic body, huge rear wing, and balanced chassis made it perfect for both the street and the track. Then came the cultural explosion. When The Fast and the Furious hit theaters in 2001, the orange Mach 4 Supra became an instant icon. It wasn't just a car anymore. It was a dream. But ironically, around that same time, Toyota had already ended production. The world was moving toward efficiency, not excitement. Sales dropped, emissions laws tightened, and in 2002, Toyota quietly discontinued the Supra. The legend was gone, but the love never faded. The lost years, 2002 to 2019, silence and anticipation. For almost 2 decades, the Supra name disappeared. The MK4 became the holy grail of Japanese performance. Collector prices skyrocketed. Fans begged Toyota to bring it back, but the company stayed silent. Behind the scenes, however, something was brewing. Toyota's president, Akio Toyoda, himself a passionate racer, wanted to revive the brand's performance image. The world waited, hoping for another 2JZ, another twin-turbo beast. What arrived instead was something entirely different. The 2020s, the return, the Mark V Supra. In 2019, the Supra name finally returned, the Mark V A90. But this time, it wasn't built by Toyota alone. It was the result of a collaboration with BMW. Underneath its sleek, curvy body lies the same platform and inline-six engine as the BMW Z4. And when fans found out, reactions were divided. Design, then versus now. The Mach 4 Supra from the 1990s had an unmistakable shape, wide, low, with a long hood and a huge wing. Its design screamed performance, but it also had an organic flow that made it timeless. It was a car that looked fast even when standing still. The MK5, in contrast, is more sculpted and muscular. Every curve and crease has a purpose. Aerodynamics, downforce, cooling. It's shorter, wider, and more compact. A true modern sports car form. Some say the old Supra looked like it came from passion, while the new one looks engineered by precision. But both share one thing: an instantly recognizable presence. When you see a Supra, you know it's a Supra. Technology, from analog to digital. Here's where the contrast becomes sharp. The MK4 Supra was old school. Analog gauges, manual controls, minimal electronics. It was a driver's car in the purest sense. You felt everything through the steering, pedals, and gears. The MK5 Supra, on the other hand, is filled with tech. Drive-by-wire systems, adaptive suspension, launch control, and advanced stability management. Inside, you get digital screens, Bluetooth, and safety assists. The MK5 can analyze tire grip, throttle angle, and brake pressure in milliseconds. It's surgical, precise, almost perfect, but to some, that perfection removes the challenge. And with it, some of the emotion. The old Supra made you work for the speed. The new one helps you achieve it easily. That's the difference between the analog and digital eras of driving. Conclusion: from the 1970s Celica Supra to the 1990s Turbo Legend, and now to the 2020s high-tech sports car, the Supra has evolved like few others. It's a story of adaptation and passion. If you enjoyed this deep dive into automotive evolution, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more stories about cars that change the world. Comment, "Thanks for watching." And remember, legends don't die, they just get faster.